What's going on, guys? Clay here with the Contractor Marketers, and in this video I'm going to be going over Google Ads strategy specifically for local service-based businesses. So let's dive right in. So as I said, in this video I'm going to be going over Google Ads strategies, and really there's only one strategy. It's just broken down into a bunch of different components in regards to how you set up ad groups and keyword research and all that stuff, right? So first off, I'm going to talk about keyword research because that is the number one most important thing and where a lot of people go wrong. So when you're doing keyword research, really what you do is you look up first what the most commonly searched keywords are for your industry, right? So let's say you're a roofing company, it's one of them is roofing company, another one is roofing contractors, and so forth, right? It's kind of more general terms. And what you want to look for is keywords that get, between 30,000 plus searches every month, right? Because that's showing that, because those searches are showing you all over the US. And basically what that's going to do is then when it breaks down to your specific area, it'll be, a few hundred, a few thousand searches a month, which is really what you want. Because a lot of those ones that say, oh, they get 800 searches a month across the entire US is like 10 or 20 searches for you. So it's really not a lot. So once you have that, once you have your initial keywords, then what you want to do, or at least what I do, is to make them even more specific to your area, you tack on the local service area at the end, right? So let's say it's roofing company in San Jose. So you have the keyword roofing company, you serve San Jose, so you just add San Jose on top of that and target those keywords because that's going to make it even more local, make your keywords even more relevant to a lot of the searches, and then also just allow you to target, as specific as possible to your area. And then what you want to do is once you have these keywords, you usually want about at least 20 to 30 to start off with. I would say up to 50, unless your budget is like 10, 20, $30,000 a month, then you want to have like a few hundred, right? But for most contractors, they're spending just a couple thousand a month. You want to have like that initially 30 to 50 keywords, and then you break it down from there based off of what keywords are converting, the results that you're getting for the keywords, right? So once you have your keywords and you go to set up your Google Ads campaign, there's not anything special when you're actually setting up like the campaign aspect of it. Where the real differentiator comes in is when you're building out your ad groups. And the reason being is that your ad groups are, a lot of contractors, they just throw a bunch of keywords in there, right? They're like, all right, here's my 50 keywords and I'm just gonna dump them in this ad group. And that is not how you wanna do it. It's really hard to optimize for that. It's really hard to know which keywords are converting. And overall, it just affects their performance in general. So you're going to spend way more for leads than you really need to. What you need to be doing is what's called single keyword ad groups, or SKAGs as people in, kind of the marketing realm like to call them. And basically with this, there's kind of a bunch of different opinions on what SKAGs actually are. But for all intents and purposes, these are going to be ad groups where you have a specific keyword, so one keyword of like the 20 or 50 or however many you have, and you're going to have that in 3 different formats. And before I go really far into that, there's 4 different formats for keywords in Google Ads. You have broad match, you have modified broad match, you have phrase match, and you have exact match. Now, pretty much as a rule of thumb, never use broad match. And broad match is when there's like no annotations on it, and basically what that means is Google will show your ad, if you're for broad match keywords, to anybody that searches anything including at least one of the words in that keyword chain, right? So let's say it's fence installation. If somebody searches installation, so let's say like, garage door installation, your ad can show up for that. And that is not what you want. So pretty much always avoid broad match. And you want to then go to the 3 other formats, right? Which is phrase match, which has quotes on each side of it and pretty much means that there can be words before or after that keyword, right? So if it's, fence installation, it's, somebody can search best fence installation and that'll be what it shows up for, right? As opposed to like, garage door installation. It keeps it specific now to the words in those quotes, but can allow words to be on the outside on either side. Then you have modified broad match, which is basically where you add plus signs before each word, right? So you have fence installation, it's now plus fence plus installation. And what that allows you to do is have your ad show up for Google searches that are pretty much have words anywhere on, as long as it includes both of those words. There can be words in the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of that. But as long as it includes those, it will show your ad for that. So that one's really good as well. And then you have exact match, which pretty much has those like little bar, like half square bar things on each side. And that means that your ad will only show for that exact search, right? So that is the most specific of the keywords, but is also the most limited and will get you shown for the least number of searches. Now you can optimize for that later, but for this video, I'm only showing you how to get it all set up and ready to go, like the overall strategy. The optimization is a whole nother thing. So once you have, like, you understand those 3 keyword formats, what you want to do is take each one of your keywords, break them down into those 3 formats, and then put that single keyword in those 3 formats in each ad group. Hopefully that's not too confusing. So then you're going to end up with, depending on how many keywords you have, between 20 and 50 or even up to 100 ad groups, right? With those 3 formats of one single keyword in each ad group. So once you have those ad groups set up, then you want to go into the ad copy, right? Which is what you're actually writing, what is actually going to be seen by people when they search something and your ad shows up, right? So it's what you're actually saying. And in this, you need to have a couple of things, right? Because you have like very few compared to Facebook ads where it's like it can be as long as you want, right? You have very few words to get people to take action. You have 3 headlines and 2 description lines, and each headline can only be 30 characters, right? So you have a total of 90 characters in the headline, the most important aspect of your ad, to get them to take action. And then the descriptions are 90 characters each, so you can explain a little bit more, but the number of people that will read those without being like completely, they want to learn more from the headline is very, very low. So the headline is the number 1 priority. And the things you need to include in that are, you need to really understand the pain points and the dreams of your customers. You need to appeal to those, okay? So you need to understand why they're searching for this. Not like, oh yeah, they want a new fence. That's not why they're searching for it. Are they insecure about how theirs looks right now? Are they concerned about the safety of their pets and children? Are they building a new house? Is it a fence replacement? Did it blow over? Like, what is it that they're really trying to figure out? And why are they searching this? You need to really ask why. It's not like, oh, they want a new fence. It's like nobody just goes out and buys something for no reason, right? So you really need to understand that. And then you need to understand, which I've talked about before, what your offer is, right? So do you have a free inspection? Do you have a consultation? Are you offering an add-on service where it's like, they buy this, like a common one with, I'm talking about fences, but common one with fence contractors is they buy a certain length of fence and they get a free fence gate, right? And there's other ones where, you have like percentages off, dollars off, where my recommendation for that is don't talk about the percentage if you are doing a percentage, because I know like the quotes vary and so forth. Instead, what you want to do is say how much they can save as a maximum, right? So you've seen this probably in a number of places, but it's like you're offering 10% off. Your maximum job size, or pretty much the higher end of your jobs, is, let's say, $50,000. Okay, so save up to $5,000, right? So that's how you want to really phrase those. But so if you want to know their pain points, know their dreams, know why they're really looking for this, and then have an irresistible offer that's different than your competition. Because this is how most contractors' Google ads look. They go, whatever their service is, so garage door repair in the area, name of company, and then maybe they'll have something that says free estimate. And that's literally what every single one says. Like, as if I was to search it up, it's literally just like, what they offer, name of company, free estimate. And if you want to really capture a lot more of those clicks, get a lot more of that business that's like the lowest hanging fruit, you need to differentiate yourself. So if everyone else is doing free estimates, try a free design consultation or a free inspection and free estimate. A certain dollar amount off or an add-on. Try differentiating your business, because even if you discount it a little bit, you're gaining a lot more business for it. So it's definitely worth it in the end. Now, obviously, don't eat away at your margins to the point where it's not sustainable, but you get what I'm saying. So then with your ad copy, so like a really good example of ad copy that we've had is, let me think. So a really good example of ad copy that we've had was for a wrought iron fence company, and it was literally like, turn your home into a castle, save up to $2,000, and then the name of the company. Because one thing that is good to add that a lot of these companies are doing right is adding the name of your company, because it is branding, right? So if you have the name of your company in your ad and somebody searches, searching for it, maybe they're not ready to buy right now, they're not ready to take action. it's still putting the name of your company in their mind. So that way they think about it going forward. And they're like, oh yeah, I remember, Bobby Bill's garage repair was offering 20% off. I didn't see that anywhere else. Or, one I've seen that really stuck out to me was like car repair. They're like, oh yeah, never pay more than your deductible. Or we'll pay your deductible. Or, stuff like that where it's like, oh yeah, that was a really, I want to work with them because they seem like they're the best offer. So if you have your business name along with a really good offer and an understanding of their pain points, that's going to have a huge impact. And even if they don't take action now, it's really good branding for later. And lastly, what you want to have is where your ads go, right? Because another one of the huge mistakes that I see so many contractors make is they have Google ads going directly to the homepage of their website. And that works if you're like a single service business. So if you're like, let's say, I don't know, an HVAC company, and you only offer like repairs and replacements, right? So then somebody goes to the homepage and that's pretty much all you talk about, that may work. But the better thing to do, and I've talked about this in the past, is to have service-specific landing pages. And what those are is basically a sub-page on your site, or a page built out in a third-party platform like Lead Pages. You probably heard of ClickFunnels, or what is the really good one? Unbounce is really good for Google Ads because it can actually do dynamic keyword insertion based off of the words that people come in. It's kind of complicated, but anyway, those are three of the big players. And what you want to do is either on your website or through one of those third-party platforms, create a landing page that's specific to the ad that they're clicking on. It doesn't have to be specific to the ad group necessarily if some of the ad groups are just slight variants, but you do want to have it really specific to the keywords because you want your landing page to include the keywords. You want it to include that because then Google's going to basically crawl your landing page and go, okay, how relevant is this to the keywords that they're targeting it for, right? Because if you're like, oh yeah, here's an awesome, we do carpentry, and then your like landing page says something about, completely different stuff. We do fence installation, or I've seen some where it's like they're for fence installation, and then you go to their landing page and it's talking about garage door repair, and I was like, well, nobody's gonna take action on that. And then I found out that they did that, but you get what I'm saying. It's like my first reaction was like, well, I'm in the wrong place. So it needs to be relevant. Google will actually make your clicks less expensive and you'll get leads for less because of that. And then also it needs to be fast, right? So it needs to include the keywords, it needs to be fast, it needs to load really, really quickly. And then it also needs to talk about your offer and give people two really specific ways to take action, right? Otherwise known as call to actions. And number one is it needs to have a phone number for them to call because there are a lot of people that like to call phone numbers. Even when there's like forms for them to fill out, they still want to call the business. So you need to have that at like the very top where it's like, want whatever your offer is, call this number now. And then you also want to have forms for people to fill out, right? So that's like, or fill out this form, or, you can design it in a number of different ways. And I'm going to be creating a video about how to design the perfect landing page here quickly. But in the meantime, you just want to have that form for them to fill out, and then you get notified when they fill it out. That's super important because we've had people that they're like, oh yeah, nobody's ever reaching out. And then you look and there's been like 14 people that filled out forms, and it's like, oops, and some of them are like months ago. So they probably, they already took action. So you definitely want to get notified about those. And if you have those two things, you talk about the offer, you talk about their pain points, and you include the specific keywords that you're targeting on Google, that is going to be way more effective, like 10 times, 20 times more effective than people going to the homepage of your website and you expecting them to navigate to wherever they need to go, because they're not going to. A lot of people have better experiences than that, or they're just going to go on, Home Advisor or Angie's List or Thumbtack and just be like, oh, it was too hard elsewhere, right? So you want to prevent that. You want to take the clicks that are otherwise, because you're competing with Home Advisor, Angie's List, Thumbtack, Porch, a lot of these big lead generation companies on Google Ads. And you can beat them. Like, we've had Google Ads campaigns that are getting 4 times as many clicks as Home Advisor and Thumbtack and Angie's List because we knew the specific area, because we knew the local area. They're national, maybe even international at this point. I don't know. And they're spending a bunch of money on specific areas, right? But if you can beat them because you know the area, because you think more about pain points and you have better offers, you can actually take a lot of those clicks before people go there, get them for less, and they are more exclusive to your business. So if you use these strategies, all of that will equal you getting leads for less than you're paying any of those lead generation companies if you're using them, or just in general at the lowest possible price, beating out your competition and ultimately growing your business and making it sustainable and making a really good ROI. I mean, we've seen ROIs of like 5x, 10x, and at the very minimum, you're going to get at least a 3x return on investment. So it's overall just like a really good platform to use. So if this was really helpful, let me know below. Would love to hear it in the comments. And if you want any additional help, let me know. I'll include a link to book a marketing audit strategy session where we can kind of go into specific strategy for your business, look at what you're doing with Google Ads now, and see if I can help in any capacity with giving you some tips or even just helping you do it. So with that, I'm going to end this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.